Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. May there be wholeness in all. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. You see the cognitive understanding? You become aware and alert, vigilant when you say, may there be happiness for all. So the moment you say, may there be happiness for all, you have a cognitive understanding. Oh, my mind was just, busy in something. No, let me bring it back. That is known by the word cognitive understanding. So now you have an understanding, may there be happiness for all. What happens? You are repeating days after days during the day before starting any activities. So now you see, cognitive understanding brings the cognitive change. What will happen on a day? I can tell you that you are going to meet your client who is crazy, who doesn't understand, who makes you angry. But now this cognitive understanding and cognitive change tells your mind, hold on, you need not to worry, you need not to react. Can it happen in a day? Answer is big yes, if you are doing it consciously. If not, what should I do? If you don't, if you are laid off from one employee, what do? You search another. Oh, nothing happens to me. I have done it many a times. You are not a seeker. You can open your eye. Understand this. Anytime, anywhere in your life, in any situation, are you getting it? So if you understand the importance of it, then it works. If you don't understand the importance, oh, I'm feeling sleepy, sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be happiness, and then I fall into laziness. So it means a seeker should be aware and vigilant. See the other importance of it. Can you do surgery without being a doctor or learn medicine without going to a medical school? Big no. Why? It is a skills that demands a particular mindset. Whether you are a mechanic or any profession, you need a specific mindset. Dennis is an expert in computer, IT expert. So they all are objective skills. Pay attention, make the difference between the two. They are the objective skill sets we can learn. But here what we are talking of the subjective area. I am stressed inside, my mind is running after likes and dislikes, reaction. In that moment, my mind reminds me, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. You see the cognitive understanding, it brings the cognitive change. Cognitive change changes your behavior and attitude. It all depends on you. How, with what intensity and commitment and sincerity you are you have undertaken a journey. One thing is very clear. You go to a medical school, you are certified, and then you put the certification in your clinic and in your and then people say, oh, he has done the medicine from that school, so yes, he should be a doctor and there is no problem. We don't get any certification. So your certification is your cognitive change in your life. We don't give any certification. In these 5 years, I should have given you maybe every 6 months one certification. So 11 certification I should have given you. We don't give any certification. It is you who has to change. Are you understanding? So you are sketching there are two kinds of seeker. The distinction between a seeker in waiting and a seeker treading the path, that is what I want to bring. I'm just bringing you very small things, which I learned from my master. The distinction between a seeker in waiting, I want immediate relief and calm. I did the practice, I don't get the relief and calm. I'm not calm. I have done it, may there be happiness for all for the last 1 week. I have started practicing regularly. How many days you have practiced last week? 3 days. On the other side, I say that I am practicing regularly. It means that there is no self-awareness. I am lacking self-awareness and then I say that I am doing it regularly. So I have to certify myself. And the seeker treading the path is committed to what? Committed to awakening, realization, and transformation. I want to bring one more point. Anne's daughter-in-law, Anne Hoffman, I think. She said that why people stick with you for so long. I said those who are seekers and waiting, they will leave me by one pretext or the other. But the seeker who has something within, they are treading the path and they are somewhere deep inside, they are committed to awakening, realization, and transformation. They won't leave. That is the difference. That is the simple difference between the two. One pretext or the other, no, you are not teaching good. And this is not, I don't like this. You have to teach like this. So we have one pretext or the other. Seeker in waiting, you have to check yourself. I don't want to give any certification. Are you seeker in waiting or are you a seeker treading the path? You know it. Even at this moment, you know it, what I'm looking for. Now come to the summary of the Sama. First point, do you remember? Default mind to discerning intellect. Means core concept of the Sama, it is internal calmness, it is present within, it does not depend on anything outside. It is an active peace. Are you listening to me? Yes, you are mind is in active mode. Are you in the state of calmness or you are feeling sleepy? Lazy. Active peace, Sama is internal. So if you miss the discerning intellect, the mind is carried by the default mind, it will not work. It may work, it may take another 10 years. So, Sama is basically, I can say, it is an art of active peace. Don't forget this metaphor to understand. Imagine a river. River means the flow of water. Pond, stagnant. When you say it is a pond, it is stagnant, or swimming pool. Still we try to make it artificial. The water keeps on moving. But normally, when we say river, when it is turbulent, nothing reflects clearly. But when the flow is calm and steady, it reflects the sky perfectly. In both the cases, the flow is there. Sama is like the clear surface, inner tranquility that stays steady. Not passive stagnation, but dynamic, available calmness. Whether I should teach in calmness or I should teach in stress. Simple. So it means that is what the Sama is. Sama means the mental balance also, an active peace where the mind is still steady but alert and available. That is why I said in Sama it is 100% availability of the mind. Clear? And then we did Sama, mind is, that is why I said the mind is the second part of the second characteristic of the Sama, I have not to forget the fourfold practices. It is a part of the fourfold practices. And 90% it is internal. Discernment, dispassion, 6 treasures, and the intense desire for liberation and the freedom. Second category, seeker treading the path. Seeker in waiting, no. So when you follow discernment and dispassion, the higher degree of discernment will lead to dispassion. Higher degree of dispassion will lead to 6 treasures. You need not even to think of it. Even if you don't remember, it will reveal by itself. So that is the second part, all the 6 treasures. Now in order to check whether I am living in that state of the calmness, I have to check how do I think, speak and act in my personal life. I still remember with my mom and dad, Christina, with my mom and dad, with my kids, whether I am thinking, speaking and acting in calmness or not. That is more important. My kids, look at them, they don't understand. Do you understand that? If you understand why you are stressed. Third point. Fourth point, we also did the etymology, definition. So we say, what is this? It is to subdue, to literal translation, to restrain, to take over. What to take over? Take over your default mind. Default mind contains reaction, anxiety, duality. So you take over it, so you quieten, you pacify, you become calm. Fourth point that we did. Fifth point, layman's language. What is the layman's language? Mastery over the mind. We don't get that understanding unless we follow the first 4, then we understand what is this mastery of the mind. The 6th point, Sama. Sama is active peace and Shanti is passive peace. Passive peace, sitting casually. Sitting casually over a cup of tea and a coffee. Yes, I'm relaxed and I'm watching TV. It is passive. There is every chance that the default mind will take over. This vacation is so good. This horror film is so good. Passive peace. So that is why the master says we have to live into the state of the sama, perfecting on the essence, reflect again and again. When you reflect, you check that there is a state of the calmness inside. Inner, it is internal. It is a kind of emotional resilience. Come to the Dama. Mastery over the senses, external. One is internal, this is external. Sama. So the mastery over Sama will take you to the mastery over Dama. Internal mastery over the mind will help you mastery over the sense organs. So what does it mean by mastery over the sense organs? My eyes are open. It is looking at all of you. Ears are open. It is listening the sound. So it means self-mastery over the sense organs means what? Sight, hearing, taste, touch, and the smell. Pay attention what I am going to say, because people misunderstand this. That is why we need a continuous, consistent journey. It is not about rejecting the world or shutting down the senses. I appreciate this guy again, who stopped at 3 cute and beautiful girls. And what appealed to his mind, he always repeats in every session. He does the session on Tuesday. He says that, this is the power of discernment. He said to me that I remember all the time that overwhelmed my mind. And my mind became totally disinterested. He said disinterested. What is that point? He said, you told me how many girls of her age, of her height and weight, are also cute and beautiful in the world. It may be 10 million and 20 million. And then why my mind is hooked to one? If my mind is hooked to all, there is no attachment. This is what he is revealing the knowledge. This is the power of discernment. He has left it. You might be thinking, I was criticizing this guy. No, I was just pointing you out. If your sense organ is hooked to something, it is not about rejecting the world, shutting down the senses, but about guiding them by knowledge, by discernment and dispassion, so they support a higher well-being and clarity of the mind. I don't understand, what you are saying. You are too philosophical. No, let me make it. When you are served a delicious meal, Dama allows you to enjoy it. Enjoy it with gratitude and moderation, rather than overeating and feeling dull afterward. So I look at the cute and beautiful, let me appreciate. But overeating means constant attachment in likes and dislikes. That is not to be done. That means I am practicing Dama. You have to think of this. And this guy comes up with an explanation every time. He was seeker in waiting, he became seeker. So beautiful. And then he goes back, 3 years back, he pulls up the audio. I am not a great master, but I explain the principles. So he picks up those principles. Now he is reflecting on this. Senses naturally chase after what is tempting. That is the nature of the sense organs. Sweet taste, pleasant sound, distracting sights. When you leave the senses unchecked, they can pull the mind in a countless direction. I have to see and check. creating restlessness and dependency. Dama helps prevent this outward scatter, conserves your energy for purposeful living and inner growth. So what Dama teaches, pause before acting. Notice when the senses pull you. Reflect mindfully. You start thinking. Thinking means that you apply the discernment. Now I have closed my eyes. Now I will not see any cute and beautiful girl. But your mind is still seeing it. It will not work. It will not work. It will not work. Discernment. Master is saying I have to. Discernment means that I should start thinking to bring the cognitive understanding. Choose consciously what Dhamma is not. Dhamma is not a separation. It is not joylessness. It is not escapism. It is not suppression. It is not joylessness. It is not escapism. Dhamma is not skipping all the deserts forever. Instead, it means enjoying one piece in moderation and knowing when to stop. I know when to stop. You find a person and you keep on appreciating. 5 minutes, 10 minutes have passed. Now this guy will think, he has certain motivation. That's why he has been appreciating. You appreciate it, finished. No, you continue appreciating. You are so wonderful. I want to hug you. You hug 10 times. And now the person is irritated. That is what we do with the food. That leads to overeating. We hug the food. I understand it. Discernment. We need that discernment. The essence, that is the essence of the Dhamma. No suppression, no joylessness, no escapism. Dhamma refines the relationship between you and your senses. The observer inside, you and your senses. Instead of being pulled outward like a one-sided window with no filter. Sense organs are one-sided windows. It doesn't go inside. But it carries the impression into your mind. What I said? This one-sided windows with no filter is there. You learn to open and close the window wisely. What do you mean by wisely? Discernment. I have to think. What I have to think? Allow what nourishes, what keeps me out, keeping out what drains. This balanced mastery transforms daily choices. You have to think. I will ask a question. Why we need this Dhamma? And if Dhamma is not there, we don't succeed in meditation. Think of it, why I said so. So daily wisdom on Dhamma and the daily application. You can practice Dhamma only by discernment and dispassion. Think of it simple. Deep sleep, no senses, no objects of the senses. Waking state, senses and objects, what to do with it? In a waking state, we perceive the objects. So I have to begin with the stillness in the mind. I will perceive. This is very good. This is very tasty. Upon waking, notice the urge to check your phone or dive into a sensory stimulation. We don't check that phone during the deep sleep. So there is a sensory stimulation. Oh, let me check. Please, you continue to check your mobile phone 100 or 150 times every day. There will be no masses that you got $1 billion. that you found cute and beautiful girl, that you found a handsome guy. Mind is searching these things. And mind is searching this thing, it means sama is not there. Inner calmness is not there. So if that inner calmness is not there, inner hesitation is there, the mind says, now body, you are servant to me. Find out. I fail in Dama. What we have to do? My master used to say, you have to practice Dama. Ashok will say, when he said this, I know that he has also been with my master. Samir also, but not frequent. So I have to answer him sometime. So the my master says, Dama as you brush your teeth. Practice Dama as you brush your teeth, you eat your breakfast, you focus on the present sensation. But don't become lost in unnecessary indulgence or distraction. Sense. So that is what we say, the sense control. Sense control. One more point, third point on the Dhamma. What is the etymology? Because that is how we should understand, we should approach the text. Every word, we should find the etymology. It is not as important in English language, but it is very important in Sanskrit language. Why? The Sanskrit language is basically a language of the spirituality. So the dam, root is dam, which means to tame, subdue, restrain. But you have to find the meaning that I have explained you before. With discernment, I have to restrain. Subdue and tame, I have to do it by discernment, by thinking. My eyes, are you saying that you are cute and beautiful, or is the mind? But why you are saying? Because this girl has been amplified by repeated likes, and that amplification has left all the girls who are also cute and beautiful. Also, the senses are acting as a bridge. So discernment helps you to tame, not by force, not unconsciously. It will not work. It has never worked. It implies the action or a state of bringing the sense organ under control, stopping them from indulging at will. Will is present in the mind, so discernment is required. Three points. We'll pick up another 2 or 3 points more. So then the Dhamma, the fourth point. Fourth point, understand, active sama will definitely lead to Dhamma. Active sama means the internal calmness, you are able to maintain your awareness, you are vigilant, will definitely lead to the Dhamma, the mastery over the senses. Same like this guy who said this cute and beautiful. What should I do? I should do the discernment. That is what he has started doing. I should do more and more sama. I should intensify the sama. Dhamma will follow. Last point, sama and dhamma are like a reservoir and a series of canals. If the reservoir, that is the mind, is calm and full, the water, that is your awareness, flows smoothly through the canals to the senses and is directed where needed. If the reservoir is chaotic, the canals overflow and the flood. I got this idea. My house is hardly 30 minutes drive to Saguaro Lake, and I see the board flash flood. So if you don't practice Dama, there is a flash flood. Yes. So our goal is we are not seeker in waiting. We are a seeker treading the path. So let us open to your reflection. I'm learning a lot from you guys. The more you reflect, I get new ideas, new thoughts. So who is going to take over? Huh? What we say, who is going to take over the dice? Yes. No one is ready.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll share. When you mentioned today about Dama not being, or no, Dama not being where you pull back into joylessness and don't, engage, I think I struggle with the delusion that the outside world or the issues is, it's too much. So that urge to retreat instead of honing the Dhamma in the process.
Beautiful reflection. It means it is not separation, it is not escapism, it is not joylessness. It is finding a point through discernment when I have to stop overeating, when I stop hugging. If I like someone and let me hug you, let me hug you. The guy will say, get lost. I don't want you. But that is more explicit. But staring at someone, that also becomes, another problem. So I have to look from inside. I told you, active sama leads to dhamma. So I have to look inside mind. Where are you going? Why you are pushing my eyes? There comes the dhamma. So I have to start thinking. Christina, that is, what is thinking? Discernment. What is discernment? Separating. What is separating? From the false and the real. Where are you thinking, Brandy?
I'm thinking that if I understand correctly, when we engage Dhamma with the support of Sama, like you just said, we don't get carried away, right? And with things that are pleasurable, but also like things that we don't really want to be thinking about, because that happens too. And I think that the way that you don't get carried away or you don't get the flash flood, in other words, is being present. I mean, part of that is being, not letting the mind go off on these things that aren't happening right now.
Yes. You see that when I say to someone that, I hate you, say for example. So I heard him, I saw him. I heard him, ears. I saw him, eyes. They act as a bridge. Behind that, there is a mind, and in the front, the object of the senses. So, through the mind, through the power of discernment, I have to move my eyes and look at him. So, I don't see him as a person of hatred. I don't hear him as a person of hatred. So, what I did, I practiced Dhamma. So that is why I told you active sama resets the sense organs to the Dhamma. Another way to say it. Beautiful. How are you, Dennis? Oh, I will come to Ashok later, yes.
One thought on Sama first. If we say that our mind is a reflective medium for the pure consciousness, Sama makes it possible for the pure consciousness to be reflected by the mind without distortion. And it happens by calming the mind and making its reflective surface undisturbed, clear, and uniform. And a few thoughts on Dama. I think that in Dama, I enjoy sensual pleasure, but I cannot be tempted by it. I don't allow it to take over. In Dama, discernment goes side by side with sensual pleasure, and I know at all times where to stop and when to stop. And in Dama, sensual pleasure doesn't dictate me. I am not getting lost in sensual pleasure. I maintain the knowledge that this sensual pleasure is temporary and doesn't contain happiness. And in Dhamma, sensory input does not define and does not condition my behavior and attitude like it happens with animals.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Do you understand that? So that's where we distinguish between the Sama and the Dhamma, and that's how we bring that state of the calmness. So in one way, as Dennis was saying that, first the Sama is required, the active Sama. Not the passive peace is required. Passive peace, it has a mixture of default mind. Passive peace says, oh, I like coffee, let me have one. Oh, no, let me have second also. No, I can have third also. So there we miss the point. So in that respect, what he is stressing on, Sama is required, yes. So you can follow that approach also. Yes, Ashok, you wanted to say something.
सर जैसा इसमें गीता में हम लोग पढ़ते हैं कि इंद्रियों का निग्रह तो दिस इज द दमा मोमेंट ऑफ पैशन कंट्रोल ऑफ सेंसेस
No separation, no escapism, no fighting. I am not suppressing, but I am also not overdoing it. I am not suppressing. I am not escaping. So I escape, I don't see, I don't talk to those kind of people. Why I have a very high moral value. No, you are the crazy guy. You don't have high moral value. You are a crazy. Because you have already distinguished. It is not discernment. It is you want to escape. It is not escapism. I will talk more about it. I'll make the things more and more clear. I told you the water is awareness that flows smoothly through the canals, through these 5 openings, and is directed where it is needed. Should you pay attention to my words or should you pay more attention to my beard? That differentiate the Sama and Dhamma. Yes, David and Gary. Then we will come to some areas.
Thank you. So if I'm understanding it correctly, the senses are this one-way window, and if the Dhamma, which controls the senses, is not properly trained by the Sama, then effectively we're turning the one-way windows into two-way windows and getting a, delusion and attachment. Is kind of my takeaway.
Beautifully said. Yes, yes. Why I say it is beautiful? You look at it, understand it. I said a girl, you are cute and beautiful, you are cute and beautiful. So likes and dislikes through the senses went into the mind as if, so then what happens? There is an imagined pleasure of an imagined girl in my mind. So it becomes a two-sided window. That is the problem. And so what happens with the imagined thoughts and feeling? It disturbs the mind. You lose the power of discernment. That is another way to put it. It means if I'm thinking constantly about a person, about an object, about a thing, about my dad or mom or anyone in the world, whether positively or negatively, it is where I need a Dama. Mind is clear. No Dama. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. My mind went to that same place. I like the way that Dennis said it about if our discernment's not there in the sama, then the Dhamma will rationalize.
Yeah.
Oh, another bite, or I'll do A, B, and C because I want this result. And so it's attached and it's driving towards this result that it wants. Expecting something, attached to something, craving it. And that never works out. It never works out. But our default mind continues to repeat that. So back to the discernment, we just have to really keep working on our sama.
Beautifully said. You raised the point that is very important. You raised the point that default mind rationalizes. You are beautiful. Why shouldn't I look at you? And if you don't have your eyes, then what you can look at me? You don't have the eyes. Then what? Somebody told me. So there is already a debate. That debate, heats up in India also, and also some part here in US also. Look at the people, the way they dress. It incites rationalization. It is a rationalization. It is not a discernment. And I'm just giving a very practical example. It is not a discernment. So when the mind is already in discernment, you are not hooked to that sense of attachment and expectation. The same way, it has not become a two-sided windows. So you are free. That needs to be, it demands a lot of thinking, contemplation and reflection. So whenever you are carried away by any object of the senses, anyone, you have to sit down, continue thinking, instead of rationalization, bring discernment, and you will see there is a change. No need to suppress, no need to escape. Yes, Samir, what you are thinking?
Sir, I think these sense organs, you correctly told that these are one-sided windows. And one-sided windows, we look outside. And these sense organs are attached to some things. Means whether anything, I would say, whether it is money or... So the mind is agitated. Whether our wish is fulfilled or it is not fulfilled. Yeah. If it is fulfilled, we want to repeat it again. Whatever means, if we like something to eat, then we want to eat again. And whatever is, we want to repeat. And if it is not fulfilled, then also it is agitated. Means mind is means distress just by when we start practicing sama, then Dhamma is there, starts erupting in our mind. And the agitation time starts reducing. Means if I was agitated for half an hour before, now I am agitated for 2 minutes or 1 minute. And the mind, because of practicing Sama and Dama, this agitation times starts reducing. Means it comes out to 1 minute or 2 minutes. It is not that we are not agitated and we are not attached. We are attached. We look at the things we are attached, but we quickly understand that how we have to go back and settle into peace.
Beautifully, you see that? How beautifully he explains the application of the Dhamma. What is the point that, if I say that, from today I have understood Dhamma and I'm not agitated, it's a wrong approach. No, I'm agitated but my frequency and the duration of that agitation has minimized. Why it has? Who has noticed it? My mind. How it has noticed? Discernment. That is the beauty of the application. So if I say, I'm not, reflex action is there, the snake is there, I will jump out, agitated. So he brought the principle which I have discussed many a times, that if I have a desire to be fulfilled, if the desire is fulfilled, my mind says repeat it. Repeat what? I lose the control over the Dhamma. That is why I want to repeat it. So there is hesitation in the mind, and that hesitation, my mind feels, will be resolved by fulfilling my wish to go back to the same object, that is, same food, same, etc., anything. But if it is not fulfilled, I am still agitated. I am agitated because of repeating it. I am agitated because I did not get it. So who can play the right role? Discernment, not rationalization. I'm summarizing each one's point of view. If I rationalize, why you dress like this? That is why I'm excited. Really? Are you sure? Are you excited? Rivers are also naked. Are you excited? Sky is also naked. Our master gives, and all the animals are naked. It's a rationalization. It means I'm not, my Sama is not there. I'm looking for something else. It demands a constant. You don't suppress, you don't escape, you don't react. Sit down, mind. Why you are so crazy? That will bring the change. Yes, we'll have one more Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. Sir, with Dhamma, it's like it maintains the balance in the mind. So, mind is not obsessed about the things it perceives by the sense organs. And with the right balance, it also realizes that mind is a servant and not the master.
Yes. Yes. So, who remembers this? Default mind will not remember. Only the discerning intellect or discerning mind will remember that mind you are not the master. I am the master of you. Why you are going there? Why you are putting me into this situation? And I can bet you, when you live in the Sama and Dhamma, your journey to the state of calmness 24/7 begins. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. We will use the discerning mind, discerning intellect or discerning mind, and you see that what happens. Presence. Presence means discerning, you invited the discerning intellect. Presence, you are aware and attentive. You are aware and attentive. You notice what is going on in the mind. What is going on in the mind? What is going on? Thoughts, feeling, emotions, some objections of what you have learned in the form of the thoughts, feeling, and emotion. That is our first step, which I explained in a different way today. I said, pause, be still. Be still means that you are observing, you are noticing. I say you do nothing. Can I say notice by default? The skin does not say, come on, feel the temperature, feel the skin. The skin does not entice you. It is natural, it is by default. Do you see? You note by default. What you note by default? The objects of the senses, if I say. And then the thoughts and the feeling. You are simply noticing, as if standing across a road. I have told you many a times, perhaps you remember, across a road, watching the traffic. Eyes does not say, oh, look at this is a trailer, oh, look at this is sedan, look at this is SUV, oh, look at the girl is driving. No. Notice, and that leads to a status of an observer. We did the poise practice, we are doing it again today. So, when you notice, so now here is a challenge and here is an opportunity. You notice by discerning mind, or you notice by the default mind, discerning mind, or default mind will make the difference. You see that, meditation is so simple, powerful, and easy. I've been telling you that all the mindfulness or meditation is effortless and natural, provided we have reached to that state of a seeker. So, observer, you see, the presence by default makes you an observer. I'm adding one more point here. You have to just discern like this. So notice by discerning mind or default mind. So when you notice by discerning intellect makes you an observer, by default mind makes you, it's a wrong English, makes you an obsessor. You get obsessed. You get obsessed, you start craving. You are lost. So you are lost, the observer is lost. You see, the observer is lost. I'm just translating the practice based on what each one has shared. You are lost, observer is lost. Observer is lost means what? Means what? You become the object. I told you some time ago, now that object, that thing has become Vishaya. I told you before, couple of sessions before, the Vishaya means poisonous. Now the poison is going on. But if the default discerning intellect is there, then you further investigate. And that investigate leads you to a witness. Witness and observer, there is a small little difference. Little difference between the two, between the witness and the observer. So in the state of the witness, mind do not become default mind again. In observer, there is a chance that the mind can become a default mind. And the moment you have a witness, the fourth one, I said there is a space. What is that space? Now if you talk to me about the physical space, it is not a physical space, my friend. It is the way to make you understand. The way to make you understand why cognitive understanding. Christina will say, oh, you have hijacked my psychology. Cognitive understanding. The moment you have that cognitive understanding, there is a cognitive change. But we say, we confirm that, we want to confirm the change. And that is by the word E. We embody what is real. We embody, we tell the mind, here is calmness. Om Shanti, or you simply say Om Shanti, that will work. You simply recognize and experience inner calm. You have reached inner calm. You have reached to the active sama. Now with that active, so-called, sama is active, so basically is active peace. I am using a wrong phrase, active peace or sama. Now with that sama, you ask mind to travel outside through senses. What happens now? Dama is also there. Dama is also active. So the sama. What it means? You live in the world with calmness. Your perception of the world has changed. You embody what is real. What is real can easily be embodied, provided default mind do not cause any likes and dislikes. It does not rationalize it. So you feel that mind is still thinking about likes and dislikes and escapes and separation about an object. It is your default mind, it is not the discerning mind. What I will do, it doesn't happen. You think every day. as per the practice, as per the talk that I have given to you. You keep on thinking the moment you have it. So what will happen? A seeker in waiting. First thing, by repeat practice, your mind will recognize the difference between the default mind and the discerning mind. When it will come, I don't know. I can't tell you. It is based on your past impression, your inclination, your commitment, your consistency, your regular practice. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both of arms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Share the experience now. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Very deep meditation. The one aspect of it that you talked about is the difference between a witness and an observer. And that really resonated with me. So, which was in keeping with sort of the Dama and the Sama. So thank you.
Yes, you are right. Beautiful. We may go on vacation to see the beach and play with them and swim. But the same amount of attachment to something else which we can acquire, which we feel we can possess. I cannot possess sea beach. That makes the difference between what I said, the investee, witness. But if I have the witness towards everything, finished. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. Really wonderful lesson. Deep meditation, lots of space, calm. Thank you.
Beautiful. You see, I passed one remark. If you don't practice Dhamma and Sama, you cannot succeed in meditation. The mind will pull you out. That is one of the major causes of distraction. Samir.
Sir, meditation was means the mind was just listening to what you were meant. It was like means you were speaking and I was listening.
Good.
Nothing was there except it. Means you were speaking, what you were telling, I was understanding, and my body was lying.
Why?
And that is the.
Why it is there? Because Sama and Dhamma is present. So it becomes just a flow. Oh, I'm already there. Why I'm already there? It exists. Peace, Sama and Dhamma exist. It always exists. I veil it, I cover it. So from today you have to blame yourself whenever anyone is in stress, anxiety. It is your responsibility. Yes, Dennis.
Peaceful meditation, listening and contemplation transition to the awareness of the dark space, and there was steadiness of the body and the mind, and and joyfulness, I could say. Thank you.
Beautiful. Are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. During my meditation, I reflected a little bit on what Girish said, in the sense that, like, my shoulder was kind of tense and I relaxed it, and I realized that when I go at things like work, right? If I want to be successful at work, I go with my whole body, and that's not necessary, right? To like get tense and do my, and I just had this realization that went through that filter, right? Coming from the sama and looking out at what has to be done or what I think needs to be done. I need to the whole thing just needs to calm down. And then I got there. It was really nice. Thank you.
Very good. Yes, that I told you reflection is necessary. Reflection, contemplation, reflection. So I know what is discernment. You have to speak, and now it is your turn. Brandy is invited to the stage now to speak for 15 minutes. Look at where is Sama and Dama. And don't look at the stage, don't look at the people. American approach is different. Are you excited, Brandy? No. Are you calm? We have a difference between, and that difference makes a hell of the difference. Because it reshapes. Why? Why? Because Krishna will say, I borrowed modern. No, I don't borrow. It is the English language. Cognitive understanding brings the cognitive change. So cognitive understanding of the sama, that is the active calmness, and Dama brings the change in my life. That is what is happening. Christina.
Thank you. I felt just in the flow, and I could feel a distinct difference, almost like being home in that calmness. And then the moment my mind would have thoughts, the difference in the body that felt like.
You see how beautiful. You have touched upon the, what is that number? 8th number. I told, return to your real home. Do you remember? Return to your real home. False home is home of attachment, anxiety, duality, conflict, craving. We discussed a lot about it. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So today's practice is like that. While doing the practice, I'm keeping a step back from the contents of the mind, and as it withdraws from that content, mind becomes calm and relaxed and peaceful. And one thing I realized, that only if I'm not attached to something, then only I can logically decide that how much I required that thing. Unless that attachment is there or that obsession is there, I cannot make a right decision about that situation.
Yeah. Not make a right decision means that I'm rationalizing. I'm rationalizing. Rightly said. Now another challenge, we all have to live into that state throughout the day until the next lesson. So your problem of going to work, Brandy, is solved. From today, from just now, we have to live into that poise. Problem is solved. I forget it, seeker in waiting. I don't forget it, I'm a seeker. All responsibility belongs to you guys, not to me. How are you, Terry?
I kept thinking about something that Brandy said about not the mind going to things that are not actually happening.
Brandy will explain it again.
things that are not actually happening. Everything everyone said after that, I sort of put through that filter.
Yeah.
And I felt that it made sense.
Yes.
You could interpret it that way.
Yes, it makes sense, So what happens? I would say there are other things are also coming, we have 6 treasures, and that will be dealt in deeply in those other treasures. But I'm just giving you one, the same principle. Poise, P is the presence, I notice, but when I notice, the observer is already hidden into noticing. Observer, I notice means there is an observer. What I notice? I notice you all, so I am an observer. So it is just a way to explain, because you cannot explain the multi-dimensional entity that is the real self in a linear language. So where there is a presence means what? It is an observer. When I clearly see an observer, there is a witness. Mindfulness is a witness consciousness. So when you are a witness to all the events, whatever is changing, I recognize I'm not what is changing. That I created, I said space for the sake of understanding. It is already there. If the changing can become the unchanging, then there is no space. It cannot be, not possible. Unchanging cannot become the changing. Permanent cannot become the changing. So space is already there. Space is already there. And in that we recognize where is the real self. I make it very simple, but if you contemplate and reflect more and more, you will recognize, oh, it is just a play and a fun. Meditation, mindfulness is a play and a fun. I added more to confuse you, Terry. So that is all for today. Thank you very much. We'll meet again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir. Namaste everyone.